Writers, this morning, our principal asked if she could come and hear your speeches. So she will be down later today. I think that's pretty amazing. One day of writing has already begun to make this school different. Imagine. Years from now, kids will probably still be talking about this class, about you. They'll say, "Oh yes, it was that one class years ago that brought all these extra magazines into our school library." This has given me an idea. I'm starting to think that you shouldn't just write pieces that go in notebooks and folders. That you should do more of what you did yesterday. Write to make changes in the world. Could be in our community, our school, our neighborhood. Although yesterday you made a persuasive speech in one day, usually people take time to work on a speech, just like they take time to write any important text. So I'm going to suggest that you collect entries this week that are like the speech that you wrote yesterday. Do you remember how earlier you wrote a lot of personal narrative entries? And then you chose one as your seed idea, and you developed into the story that you published. In the same way, after collecting many entries that are fast draft speeches, you'll choose one that you can make into a terrific speech. So today and every day this week, you'll have time to write an opinion of your own. You might be wondering, how do I come up with ideas for this sort of writing? I know each of you already has opinions about how this class, this school, this town could be better. These opinions will be the substance of your writing. Today, I want to teach you that one way writers of persuasive speeches come up with their ideas is by seeing problems and imagining solutions. So, if you are a photographer, you go through life seeing possible pictures that you could take, if only you had your camera with you. You see a butterfly on a bit of forsythia, and you think, that'd make a good picture. Wow, persuasive writers are sort of the same. But instead of going through life seeing potential pictures, they see ways they could write to make a difference. This means that instead of seeing beautiful pictures everywhere, they see problems everywhere. For persuasive writers, these problems are not a cause for whining. They're a reason to write. Today, you're going to start wearing the special glasses that persuasive writers wear. You're going to see problems that are invitations to write, to make a difference. Let's try this together, okay? So, I want you all to think about recess and when you go outside to play. Think about our school's playground through the eyes of persuasive speechwriters. Okay, so what are you seeing? What are you thinking? This kind of writing is tricky because you need to see what is there and what could be there. So, let's think. I'm thinking that many years ago, parents formed a committee and raised money with children's help and built a playground for you. But since then, you've lost a big slippery slide, Not much else has changed. All of the things painted on the tar have worn away. A lot of the basketball hoops, I don't even know if there's nets out there. I'm just wondering what you might be wondering about. You've been to other playgrounds. Can you imagine the possibilities? Well, this is what persuasive writers do. They think about a problem, or maybe how things could be different, and then they try to come up with a solution. So, we have our idea now. Let's work on a playground and what our playground could use. What do we imagine for possibilities? We could even look in other places in our school. We could think about our cafeteria. We could think about the bathrooms in our school. You could think about the walls and how they're used. Maybe different classes, your gym class, your music class, your phys ed class, your library time. Are there things that you could imagine could be better? And if so, what would your suggestion be? So my friends, reporters who work for newspapers often need to get a news story in just a tiny bit of time. That's how today will go for you. After this mini lesson, and we're almost finished, you'll have about a half an hour, 30 minutes, to jot some ideas about how your classroom, your school, the playground could be different. And you're going to write an entry that could be a speech about that idea, just like you did yesterday about the magazines. You don't need to stop and ponder for a long time. Just pick a place where you can go, thinking about in your mind, thinking about, what could I imagine could be different? A different way for our playground, our school, the rooms to be different. Or our recess time, or our lunch time, or even some of our classroom subjects. Think about a time during the day, a place that you go, choose one, and think, how could it be different? So you're going to imagine an area that you care about. You're going to think about the problem and how it could be better. Okay, are you all thinking about that now? Would you all give me a thumbs up if you've thought of a problem? Those of you who have an idea, talk to the people near you. Help them come up with ideas as well. And then soon, we'll start to write. We'll list some problems, some solutions that you feel passionate about. You'll choose one, and you'll get started writing an entry about it. So, writers, let's share with our partners, with our small group, and then we're going to get started writing in just a few minutes.